This is the Let's Go Win podcast with your host, J.M. Ryerson.
Hello. Welcome to a Tuesday tune-up. I am J.M. Ryerson, and to my left I have Miss Lisa Ryerson. Good morning, my love.
Good morning.
So we're going to talk about goals today, now that everybody just turned it off, because goals, they're probably like, awesome. Sometimes people don't get excited about goals. You even have kind of a bored look on your face. Is that what's happening?
No, goals are important.
Okay, so you are excited about it.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a misread on my part. You looked kind of like, oh, JM on goals again. No?
No.
Okay, sweet. So I do believe in setting goals. I believe in setting goals. I believe in putting them in your bathroom mirror and having an accountability buddy. You've heard me talk about it, but I'm going to simplify it really fast. This literally goes back to New Year's resolutions. They did a study. You're 60% more likely to actually follow through on your New Year's resolution by writing that down. So I want to lose 50 pounds. Cool. Write that down. Now, you're an additional 20% more likely, so now we're up to 80% to follow through a year later if you've written it down and then put it up and viewed it every single day. And so that's where I put it in the bathroom mirror. So you see it in the morning, then you see it in the evening. And I also, if those of you that travel, I take mine with me everywhere I go. Because, look, we got to be checking in on these goals to see how we're doing. And so everyone has goals. That is one thing I will say. Everybody has goals. But I call it a wish until it's written down, right? And so I want to talk about the 7 areas, key areas in life to really set goals in, because so often I think people are like, well, how do you set goals properly? And I know there's SMART goals out there, and that's actually a pretty good, acronym for people to follow to help them set it. I'm just going to talk about the 7 basic areas that I like to do it. And the wheel of life is something that you've heard from, I think Zig Ziglar really brought it to light. And it's a Buddhist, actually thousands of years, that if one area of your life is out of whack, then you can't perform at your very best. And so I always break it down to 7 areas that we really need to focus on. So, and I think you subscribe to this as well, right? You do all 7 areas, correct?
Mm-hmm. For my goals?
Yes.
Yes.
You don't have them with you though, right?
Nope, they're on my bathroom mirror.
Okay, so I have mine with me, but we will talk about it. So the first one is just personal life goals. What do I want to achieve in said year? So this year in 2021. And how I look at this is, what if I didn't achieve? So for instance, for me, it's connect with 6 major influencers this year. And I've already connected with 2 or 3 because for what we're trying to do with Let's Go Win, we want more people to hear about it. And through influence, that's part of how we're going to do that. So how I judge this goal or grade it is next year, if I've met with 5 influencers, is it an absolute fail? Not necessarily, right? Because there's benefits from it. But 6, I thought every other month I could really achieve that. Do you remember your personal goal by chance? Personal life goals?
Personal life goal. Oh, yes. Personal life goal was to start a nonprofit. Let's Go Give this year.
And have we done that?
Yes. Well, no, not completely. But I do have a meeting with an attorney to get that started.
Why is that so important to you for your personal life? I'm just curious.
Was that my personal? Now I'm getting all confused. I think that was my personal life.
It might have been your work life goal as well.
Oh, that was my work life goal. Well, personal, then there's family, right?
There's personal life, work life, family life.
Yeah, I'm just getting all confused. There's a lot of goals going on. Getting all confused, JM.
I'm sorry. I'm asked you if you had them, and I should have asked
goal.
prior.
And then there was like, you know what? I think that was a work life goal. It could have been either or, but that is really important to me because I truly believe that we are put on this earth to make it a better place, and giving back is something that is near and dear to my heart. And especially with my brother passing away from cancer, I also had a cousin and an aunt pass away from cancer that same exact year. It's just crazy. And cancer has affected so many people's lives, right? And I just don't understand how we can put a man on the moon and do all these amazing things, but can't find a cure for cancer. And so that is my ultimate goal, is to start a foundation, a nonprofit that will give back to cancer research.
I love the goal. And look, I guess what's cool about that goal is cancer can be eradicated. I do believe that is the case. Not only have we put people on the moon, soon in the not too distant future, there's a great possibility people are living there. I think, is it Musk? Either Musk wants to go to the moon or gosh, now I'm getting all confused. The two, Bezos and Musk, are the two that want to do that. Anyway, the point is people are going to be living on these planets at some point. And so eradicating cancer, I think we should be able to do that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good goal. Work-life goal. We all work, right? Now, I will say we work to live. We do not live to work. And this is something that I see, especially young professionals, because I think so much of our identity gets tied up in our work, who we are, what we do. It's one facet, and it's a big facet. I mean, arguably, you spend more time in your work life than you actually do your family or personal life. So I do understand that. But I want people to be clear on this. You work to live. You do not live to work. Now, if you love your job, awesome. Congratulations. But just remember, for your family's sake, for your personal sake, that is one part. So I'm guessing that was your work-life goal. I'm just guessing. Maybe you had something with Let's Go Win, like maybe, I don't know. Did you, maybe you had something there too. But.
Yeah, we had other things there as well for Let's Go Win.
This is a fun one, and something that the third area of life is family life. Quite honestly, outside of what we do now with Let's Go Win, if I didn't do anything else in this world but was just a dad, that's all I really wanted. It's true. I mean, like, not to be too mushy, but that is what I wanted to be as a kid. You asked my mom when I was like 5 years old, what do you want to be when you grow up? A dad. And so my family life is arguably the most important, although I try not to put them over one another. But when it comes to it, you guys are my number 1, 2, and 3 in this world. So my goal this year was to spend quality one-on-one time with Lisa, TJ, and Trey monthly. And here's why. When we spend family time, it's amazing, but you don't get to know the kids the same way. And I know you've experienced this. Can you talk about the one-on-ones and what you've got out of that?
Yeah. So I do date nights with the boys every single month, and it's really fun. I mean, we have a great time. So it's a different dynamic with each kid, right? Because they're so different. So our youngest, he's going to try to pick the nicest restaurant possible. And we'll take him out, or I'll take him out, and you're not going to, I mean, we're not even drinking. And the bills are like $150 minimum every time I take him out, because he's like, Mom, can I get the lobster tail? And can I get the filet mignon? And I mean, it is hilarious. And we just have a great time. And it's I think because he's still young, you know, he's 11, and we just have a fun time, right? We go get dessert and all that jazz. Now with my oldest, it's a little bit of pulling teeth every month. Because I go, where do you want to go for our date night? He goes, can we just go to Chipotle? Like, he loves Chipotle more than anybody I've ever known. And it's hilarious. I go, no, buddy, I want to get dressed up. Let's get dressed up. Let's go somewhere. And the craziest thing happened one time. We have these very in-depth conversations, right? And we started talking about just in general, like being a teenager and how, you know, there's drugs out there and there's edibles, and to not eat just anybody's snacks, right? And he opened up about things that happened, you know, happened at his academy that I was not aware of. And I think if we didn't have this one-on-one time, he would have never told us or told me, right? And then I told you. And so it's so important to have that one-on-one time. And I think how JM and we really wanted to do this because we realized we only have 3.5 years left with our oldest, and he'll be off to college, right? And then they get married and they have their kids. And I mean, it's crazy how fast they grow up. And so we do the one-on-ones per month out to I mean, I pick day night, but you've taken the boys fishing or you guys do other fun things. And then we also do every 6 months, it's a one-on-one, but it's on a trip. And so in June, I'll be taking Trey to Universal Studios for 3 days.
Yeah, and that's a shout out to Taro Arai. That he told me this. He's like, oh yeah, I take each one of my kids on a trip, right? Every year. Or I think maybe it's it's something like that where he takes one of the kids every year on a trip. And the way he explained it was you learn so much about them as a human being. And it's true because when they get to be not around their brother or around their mom, they just open up differently and vice versa, right? Like if he's not around me, he may tell you things that, that he doesn't tell me. And it's so cool. I love this goal. I hope everybody take it, use it, because we have the most ROI we have is literally in this one. I look forward to it, but you have to be very intentional because I think last month we're like, holy cow, we got to get this done.
It was like March 31st. And I'm all, TJ, we got to go on our date night.
And the quote I have with that, the days are long, but the years are short. And that with the kids, oh man, that thing is so true. There are days that you're like, oh man, I can't wait. And then you realize, like you said, TJ's going to have his driver's permit or his, what is it called? Not driver's permit, I guess it is.
Yeah, it's a permit next month.
Where he has to have one of us with him. And then next year, quite literally, driver's license. Crazy. Okay. Spiritual life. This is one that it changes for me every year. It used to be meditate daily, and then it would be taking a hike, in the woods once a week. And so this is different for everyone. This year, this one is time for me once a month for reflection. Now, this is an interesting goal, and I've done very poorly. As I'm reading this, I'm like, damn, I have not really done this very well for myself. Every time that you go away and you spend time self-reflecting, at least for me, I've come back better version as a dad, as a spouse. But yet we think it's selfish. And even our partner sometimes can look at it like, hey, now you're leaving me with the kids alone again. But it's so important. So that's for me, spiritual life. That's my goal this year. Do you remember yours? Yeah,
for spiritual life, I've talked about her before. Heather is a dear friend of mine, and I've been working with her for the last probably 8 to 9 years. But we talk once a month, right, for an hour, and it's amazing. And she just gets me back grounded, have great perspective, and it's somebody that I can talk to that has no judgment, right, on me. I mean, it's different. Like I can talk to you all the time. I can talk to kids. I can talk to my friends. It's just different. And she's, I call her my woo-woo doctor, and she's awesome.
Yeah, she really is. And thank you, Heather, for all the help through the years. Financial life. This is one that, it's a simple concept for me. Is pay ourselves first and diversify. Because so often the idea is people pay their bills, then they go do some fun stuff. And then when it comes to retirement, they haven't even thought of it. Reverse that. Pay yourself first, then your bills, then have your discretionary income. If you make that simple change, you will be shocked at the compounding effect that has. And this is just normal. This is just behaviors with money that people don't really learn. So that's a quick one. I don't know if you had anything on this. I'm looking at the time. We're ripping through this already, but anything on financial life you want to share?
No, same. I mean, I was lucky to grow up with parents that, my parents came to this country with no money whatsoever. And so they were always really, really good savers. Right. And they instilled that in me, and I'm a good saver. I'm not a great saver. I think we have a pretty good balance, but I know that our retirement's taken care of, our kids' college is taken care of. Like I have all those ducks in a row, and then the discretionary income is where we spend, and go have fun and take trips.
Mental life. What are you doing to continue to grow your brain? For me, it's always been reading, and this must be a habit because What I wrote down was to learn to speak Spanish. I am failing miserably on this goal because I still can say, hola, ¿cómo estás? Me llamo es Jaime.
Jaime. It's J-M-A, I think.
Okay. Well, anyway, I've failed at this goal. But my reading is off the charts this year. I don't know. Books are speaking to me this year. So I don't know. I'm going to have to reflect on this and see how important learning Spanish is. Oh, anyway. And the last one, and they're all important, but physical health life. Mine's very simple, is to sweat, stretch, and eat greens once a day. And health is wealth, you guys. You can't do any of these things unless you're healthy. And your body's meant to move. And I hope everybody takes this seriously, because literally, if you don't have your health, you can't do any of those previous 6. And arguably, you could say that about all of them. But this one is really important to me. And I drive Lisa a little crazy with all my biohacking that I'm trying to do. But I want to live a long time. I want to be active for a long, long time. So anything you had for that? What was your physical health?
It was to work out 8 times a month. It's a lot for me. That's twice a week.
Sorry. See, that was total judgment, and I shouldn't have done that.
Oh my gosh, you totally judged me and labeled me.
Great job.
Yeah, thank you.
No, I'm proud of you. That is awesome.
Thank you. I have failed most months, but I killed it. In February, I killed it. Was it February? I don't remember. 1 month I killed it. I had 8 right on the tot. And then last month, it's been challenging.
If you
with Hotel Ryerson right now.
If you just listen, every time I say, let's go play pickleball, you will kill it. You will crush it.
I do go. I just went the other day. My body still hurts.
Every time I say it. So then
that's like every day. That's like 30. No. No, thank you.
All right, you guys. Those are the 7 areas that I think are so important. And again, if one is out of whack, if your family life is all screwed up, it's hard for you to show up as the best you can in your work life. If your mental life is all screwed up, how can you succeed in your financial life? So just take a look. Make sure you've written your goals down. The first quarter of the year's gone. We're into April. Holy cow. Write them down. Put them in your bathroom mirror. Get an accountability buddy. My 11-year-old now, he has constantly keeps me on my toes about my goals, and I love it. So I would love for you guys to go check out Champions Daily Playbook. Go to Amazon, you guys. It's $10. Something that you can all use. It's about 11 pages of reading, and then it's all a playbook on continuing to get better every single day. So check it out. I'd love for you guys to, and then give us feedback. And you can do that on any of our social media platforms. So, all right, until next week, you guys continue transcending life. Have a great one. Thank you so much for listening. If this content is delivering value to you, please make sure to subscribe, rate, and review us. That helps us build this community, and that is what we are all about. Building this community as big as we can, helping as many people as we can, and deliver as much value as possible. Be sure to head over to letsgowinpodcast.com for information on my coaching courses, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Let's Go Win 365. Let's go win and transcend in life.
This is the Let's Go Win podcast with your host, J.M. Ryerson.